Guys, how's it going? I'm gonna make this little video. It's not really an installation video, but we're gonna talk about some installation tips and tricks and things that guys use in the field when they install two-post lifts. This is the Triumph C7000. It's a 7,000 pound capacity two-post lift. It's portable. We'll talk about the portability of this lift in a few minutes. It's got a max span, 120 inches center to center. That's center of the post to the center of the post. That's 10 feet max. It's got a lift height of 72 inches. I chose it over the Max Jack, obviously, because I got 10.5 foot high ceilings, so the 48 inch lift height was a little low for me, and I could probably go full 77, but 72 is fine. But I wanted some portability because I'm an accomplished automotive refinisher, and I do a lot of paint, cars, bikes, and whatever. And I wanted to be able to move, a lift arm out of the way so I could have exposure to my floor and whatnot. So, but for the most part, this lift's probably going to stay pretty much installed. So just so you guys know, this is a Chinese lift, but I don't know if you knew this or not, but almost all lifts are made in China. If you do your homework, you'll find that out. Rotary, Bent Pack, Challenger, they're all made in China. Lift Tech, made in China. In fact, I think the only lift that isn't really made in China is a Mohawk. Okay, so that being said, let's just talk a little bit about the installation process. Obviously, we're not going to talk about drilling holes in concrete, because if I need to tell you how to drill a hole in concrete and send you a lift, hire a professional, okay? I'm not your daddy. That being said, you are going to need to level your lift. You are going to need to shim your lift. Okay, like I said, these lifts are made in China, and those base plates are 1/2 inch. Okay, those gussets are 1/4 inch. Your beams are 3/16. Okay, actually, I'm sorry, they're 1/8. So you got 3 different types of metals here. Okay, so those base plates tend to warp. So these lifts are going to wobble around a little bit. So you are going to need to shim your lift. So you're going to need to get some shims. Not the kind of shims some of you guys are used to. I'm talking about these kind of shims. Plastic shims, they're available at McMaster Car. Check out their website. They've got all kinds of stuff. I mean, if you're an inventor, gears, turnbuckles, U-joints, I mean, all types of stuff, welding supplies. You name it, McMaster Car has it. They're fairly cheap. They come in, like I said, 3/16, an 1/8, and 1/4 inch. You're gonna need to lay these out at every stud location. If you got a nice wobbly, my floor's pretty spot on. You can stack them. You can put 2/16 together, but you can do an 1/8 and a 16th. You can do a 1/4 and an 1/8, okay? Mental note, guys. When you're shimming your lift, plumb both sides, plumb and level. That's this side and this side. Up to about a 16th it can be, okay? If you exceed 1/4 inch in shim height while you're shimming your lift, say you got a really bad floor, you will need to grout your plates. No one's talked about, I've watched a couple of these install videos. Nobody seems to talk about grout, precision grout, okay? You need to shoot some grout under this if you exceed 1/4 inch between the base plate and the floor, okay? The Pros grout, it's available at Home Depot. I should probably back up a little bit, give you a little bit of my experience. I've installed numerous lifts, 2-post, 4-post, 15,000 pound truck lift, scissor alignment rack, 4-post alignment rack, and the likes of that, okay? I'm a facilities maintenance supervisor, I'm a licensed construction supervisor, and I'm OSHA 30 certified, okay? So I've been doing this over 20 years, okay? And I work in an industrial setting. We have automotive lifts, we have all kinds of equipment, okay? We do all that stuff in-house. We don't hire outside contractors. Okay, so I've been doing this a while, so I know what I'm talking about. Let's talk about, real quick, let's talk about the fasteners, okay? The fasteners, they said with this lift, let's go over to the bench. All right. Standard 7/8 drop in, 3/4 stud, 3 3/16 in length, takes a 1-inch hammer drill. Okay, I will say when you drill your hole, please pilot. 3/8 bit, pilot with a 3/8 bit, and then step it up to a 1/2 inch bit. Get yourself a quality rotary hammer. If you don't have one, rent one. Just make sure when you do, the bits are nice and straight, especially your pilot bit. Roll it around on the bench a little bit. Get that drill bit out and give it a nice roll. If that tip of that bit starts wobbling around, throw it in the trash. Tell them to give you another one, because it's just going to screw you up when you try to pilot in center. They're okay. They get a 2,800 pound pull out. So that's times 6 per lift. That's probably about 17,000 pounds of pull-out strength. So I think we're good there. The only thing I don't like about them is they're not knurled. Okay, especially up to the brake. So I wish, you know what? I was gonna just shop some knurled ones, but I'm like, for 2,800 pounds a piece, I don't know what. If you're not installing these right, you shouldn't have a problem. Okay, guys. You do not use an impact gun when you install it. I've installed hundreds and hundreds of all types of fasteners. Drop-in, epoxy, stud, wedge. You name it, I've installed it, and I've installed it in concrete. You will run these down by hand. Get yourself an 1.1" socket, okay? Run these down by hand, all the way. Make sure you wash your threads. Make sure they're clean. Do not lubricate your threads. You shouldn't need to. Torque. 80 to 90 pounds max. Do not exceed 90 pounds. Okay? What's going to happen is if you exceed torque specs, okay? Get over here, back to the bench. What's going to happen is you're going to draw on this, okay? And eventually what's going to happen is this has a tendency to slip. I've seen it many times in the field, guys wrench on these way past the recommended torque specs, okay? And then what happens is it starts to spin. If this thing spins in the hole, you're fucked, okay? There is a way to get them out. I'm not going to talk about it. I have my own special way and method of getting these out, okay? But I'm not telling you, fucking figure it out. I'm not your daddy. Hand tight, okay? Let's talk about something else. I was reading a couple forums. I'm not really a forum guy. Some of the guys were talking about the piston collar, okay? And this is the piston collar right here. Okay, it's tied to the back with 2/4 20 Phillips head screws. Basically keeps the piston stationary. Well, I guess it gets pretty tweaked in shipping because they use this cavity as a shipping container. So they put the lift arms, the hydraulic hoses, everything. They pack this, both of them. And this thing gets pretty tweaked. And guys were complaining that they got the lift and that piston collar was all bent and they had to take it out and they had to bring it over to the bench and they had to smash it around. And it's really easy to take care of this. I'll show you exactly what to do with that. So let's go. Move the bench. Here's your boy right there. Set a quarter, this is like, I think these are 6-inch, 4-inch. Vice grip pinch pliers, you should know what they are. Shouldn't have to tell you where to get them. Just reach in behind the back, expand it a little bit. Okay, reach in behind the back and give it a nice little squeeze, both points. Okay, just like that. Nice. Then you might want to come out here, give this a little push. It's metal, it's malleable. Okay, that's that. Let's talk about what comes with the lift. It came packaged pretty good. There really wasn't much to be concerned about. You got your lift arms. Okay. What else you got? You got your pump. Actually, it's got a metal tank. A lot of your lifts come with a plastic tank, so I was impressed with that. Drain plug. There's your 28-foot hoses and your lead-in hose to your pump. Okay. Distribution valve. Pads, spacers. There's your little carriage. You mount your pump to that. Like I said, this lift is going to probably be more permanent than portable. I think in the very beginning I'm going to mount it to that just to check the operation and function. But I'm probably going to mount mine. You can drill and tap these things real easy. They're pretty beefy. I'm going to mount my pump stationary, and I might not actually even use the lines. I'm probably going to go up above with a quick disconnect and then go right into steel. You know, obviously you're going to have to remove that and go with a side mount garage door opener because I'm going to lose about 2 feet of overhead clearance that I need back. So, but that's it pretty much in a nutshell, guys. Like I said, things to remember. You're going to need shims. Do not use wood shims. Wood shims collapse. Do not use composite shims because you need to shim around the stud, okay? Grout your plates. Level and plumb, okay? Don't forget when you're done, you got to grease your tracks. A little bit of grease in here, okay? These are nylon guides. These guides are nylon, okay? Grease your corners, okay? Don't grease them like an idiot, guys. Just grease them a little bit. Actually grease it and let it, actually you can just throw a glob on all 4 points and let the lift take it up, okay? You know, put a little here, put a little bit there. Once I get the lift arms on, you know, if there's anything else, I think you guys should know I'll make another video. Other than that, fucking figure it out. Purple, I don't know why. It's not a safety color, but that's all they had. Take care, guys.